little change of pace this time. Stole the wife's truck since mine's obviously in for some surgery. The shop teacher at the high school, my oldest son, he bought a CNC lathe up in Mankato and wanted to know if I could go up and grab it for him with his car trailer. So got his car trailer hooked up behind me, and we are cruising along in this 40-mile-an-hour side wind. This is ridiculous. Now we're starting to run into rain too. So I kind of tore apart the truck a little bit, not a lot, but just kind of trying to determine what's going on. After the truck sat for a couple days, I went out there and kind of started looking at stuff, and I noticed there's a little puddle of antifreeze underneath the truck. Not a lot, just a little bit. But so I started kind of looking around, and here I found the two coolant lines that go into the turbo are both leaking. Like, I'm assuming the gasket behind the little flange is gone, which is kind of strange because that turbo's been on there for roughly 20,000 miles. So those two lines are leaking. I got them two gaskets ordered. We're gonna need them regardless, but I don't know. I'm kind of questioning whether or not it's the head gaskets or not. So I'm gonna stop over at my dad's in the next couple days. He's got a pressure tester or whatever, so we're gonna put some pressure to it, and then pull out some injectors, and then put a camera down them just to make sure it is a head gasket. But I don't know. Kind of up in the air now on what it might be. But for now, we're gonna go grab this lathe, and then we can just drop this trailer off at his house with the lathe on it, and then he'll get it unloaded, do whatever with it. But he was gonna go grab it, but he grabbed one from Des Moines a couple weeks ago and said his pickup couldn't handle it, so I asked if I could do it for him, since right now I got nothing to do anyway. Then tomorrow we are going to head back out to Indiana and grab a camper for Courtney. So we're just gonna drive together, gonna tag team it, and that's pretty much our plan for the rest of the week. Otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna start working on the truck. So I have no idea what kind of lathe this is. I'm kind of curious. I don't know if it's like an old, like cast aluminum type manual lathe, or if this is like a big fancy CNC lathe. So when we get there, we'll figure out what kind of lathe we're picking up. But kind of glad it's heavy. I think he said it was 10,000 pounds. So we shouldn't blow around too much once we get this on the trailer, but just the truck and trailer alone right now is going all over the place in this wind. I don't know if you can hear it over the microphone or not, but you can definitely hear it on the windows. So we'll catch up with you guys here in a little bit. Alright, well, we dropped the lathe off and we're back in the shop. It was a big CNC lathe. It was a big, heavy thing. So, grabbed the pressure tester from my dad, got that hooked up, and found one leak. I already got the two gaskets. It's the coolant lines on the turbo are also leaking. Got these little tab looking things. So we're gonna replace them too. And that should take care of that leak, I'm hoping. But like, this is external leak, so it's still not explaining the exhaust. But let's see if I can get you in there. With those two coolant lines going just below it every now and then, There's a bolt on the bottom of the turbo there. You can kind of see got antifreeze on it, and you'll see a drip come down every now and then. But that's coming off them two coolant lines there. So we're gonna replace them two seals and then pressure test this again and then let it sit and see if our pressures go down. Cap on this says 20 pounds. So we've got, oh, I don't know if you can read that, but we got it pumped up to, I went to 17 because that puts the needle right on the edge of the black. So that way it's easier to tell if that needle moves or not. But we got that hooked up. I'm gonna get them two gaskets swapped out and then put the new ones on, and we'll test it one more time, and hopefully that takes care of that. And there's nothing else underneath there that's leaking, but I don't think on the outside, I don't think there's anywhere else that the antifreeze can leak out of. Not 100% sure, but from what I can see on diagrams and stuff, it's just a one line in, one line out. So if it's gonna be dripping out of the turbo yet, that means it's coming in between the casting somewhere, which wouldn't be a good deal. But we'll get this fixed, then we can test it one more time and see what it does. I'm gonna let it sit for a few hours and see if it drops any pressure. But like I said, I don't know, this probably explains why I'm using so much coolant, but doesn't explain the exhaust. So figure we'll fix one thing and hopefully that kind of lets us know if there's another thing, I guess. But we'll see. All right, we got the new seals put in. And then I fired the truck up for just a second to circulate some antifreeze back through there to get the air out of the turbo. And then I haven't even pressurized the tank yet, and now it's leaking worse. So I called the mechanic because, let's see if I can get this in here. That top one there. You can see that one dripping pretty good. You can see that drip building up on there. So I called the mechanic, and 3 out of the 4 bolts had these little tiny rubber bushings on the bolt. So I didn't know if that was like a kind of like a retainer bushing, I guess, for assembly type of thing or something. So the mechanic that usually works on this, the one I said I was never going to go back to, I called him and asked if he knew if those were just, if that was some sort of type of seal, or if these were just like a retainer bushing for assembly or something. And he's like, no, he goes, actually, he goes, I'm not sure why they're on there. I usually throw them away. He goes, I'm pretty sure they're just retainers. Well, so one doesn't have one, period. The other 3 did, but the one was broke. That's one I got in my hand now. It was broke. So I put 2 bolts that had these little bushings on the very bottom one, and then the top line I put the 2 bolts that don't have these little rubber seals on, and now it's leaking like crazy. I don't have to pressurize it, now it's leaking. So I'm assuming these are seals. So now I gotta see if I can find 2 of these little guys, because I highly doubt the new seals I put in are already bad. It's just kind of odd that I put both bolts that had these little rubber seals on them, these bushings, put them on the same flange, and that flange isn't leaking. But the top flange that has just standard bolts with no rubber bushings on there is now dripping like crazy. So now I gotta see if I can find a couple of these guys. But when I had it pressurized, it was dripping a little bit. But I let it sit for quite a while and it didn't lose any pressure, so I don't know. I need to get that fixed first and then pressurize it again. But I just fired it up again too, like I said, to get the air, kind of get the coolant going through the turbo, and it didn't smoke at all. So I don't know. I really wonder if there ain't something up with this turbo. It's hard to tell with these things anymore, but I want to get that fixed before I go any farther, because I don't want to obviously spend all that time ripping that truck apart and putting new seals in and spending that much time and money on it to find out it's not a head gasket. But it'd be really awesome if it's not a head gasket, but I just want to do everything before I go throw a head gasket in it. So I'm gonna go see if I can find some of these gaskets online or see if I can find any information from it, because like I said, I don't know, this mechanic, I'm not going back to him anymore. He's wasted so much of our time and so many excuses and screwed so much crap up, so I just thought it would be worth a shot just seeing what he said, but I listened to him. Probably wasn't the smartest thing, but it's not like it's a big deal to pull back off and whatnot. I just gotta see if I can find some of these bushings, but so that's where we're at now. So that's gonna sit for the rest of the night. I am taking off in the morning. Courtney has to work now, so she's not going with me to Indiana. So I'm stealing her truck and going to pick up a camper, and then the dealer called, so they got another one. So hopefully this wind quits. It's not, well, tomorrow it's supposed to be windy. So I think I'm just gonna head out tomorrow morning, because I have to get to the yard before they close at 4 o'clock. They won't let me do after hours pickup on this one. So we got to get to the yard before 4 o'clock before they close up, grab the camper, and then I can at least go park. And Saturday, the wind's supposed to be dying down, so hopefully we can make it home Saturday and then drop that off. And then probably Sunday or Monday, I'm gonna head back out. Not exactly sure what my plan is, but I don't know. I need to get something figured out with this thing. I still need to get to the bank. We haven't got all the paperwork done yet. We keep putting that off, but I need to get to the bank, get the paperwork done for that truck and our campers. So everything's all said and done. We just gotta go sign on everything. But so much to do, so little time. Rents have been coming in like crazy. It's been hard to do anything. I got home, went to change clothes to come out here to the shop, and I sat on the phone for like 3-4 hours. Courtney's on the phone. Every time it calms down, I get ready to come back out the shop, the phones start going off. So reservations are going good. We already have, what we have in reservations right now is equivalent to what we did last year. So when we started this, my 5-year goal was for the first 5 years to double our gross every year. And with it only being, what is it, this is the first week of April right now? So with this being this early in April, I think we can easily do that one more time, double our income, double our gross. So that's been my 5-year goal, is to double every year, to keep growing and then kind of reevaluate from there. So if we can keep on track of what we're doing right now, we are pretty well, I'd say 40-45% booked out for the whole summer, but a lot of times Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays are hard to get booked, so those are usually kind of throwaway days. But we actually have a lot of reservations this year that are like 7 days, 10 days, 5 days, stuff like that. And so basically camper comes in and it's going right back out again. So we have a 5-week stretch of not a single camper sitting overnight on our yard. So that is awesome. If we could do that all summer long, we'd be doing really good. But for now, we got to keep campers moving. So like I said, yeah, this is gonna sit maybe Monday or tomorrow on my drive. I can see if I can find somebody that's got information on these bushings or something, and hopefully get that thing put back to part, or get back together, and hopefully it's not a head gasket. So if that's not a head gasket, then I think, yeah, I don't know, I might list it up for sale yet, I'm not sure. I just don't want to have any issues with it before I sell it. I don't want to be that guy. So I want to make sure it's up and going good. I might actually do 1 or 2 more runs with it just to double check before I do list it for sale, because I don't want to sell it and then someone have problems right away, because that always sucks when you put, you know, a bunch of money investment in something and have a breakdown right away or unexpected expenses. I've been on that end of the deal before and it sucks. I don't want to do it with somebody else. So, but I don't know, that's just kind of update on the truck. Update on the semis, yeah, we just got to do paperwork on it at the bank. And oh, we are actually waiting on 1 more camper. We're hoping that we're going to get a build date for this month. We have 1 camper left, and which that one we really need, but it's not going to get built in April, so we need it by May 11th, I think it is. That's when we have to have it by. He does have one at the dealership, but it's not one that we ordered. It's got more stuff on it than we wanted, and he wants to keep one on his lot, obviously, to show people, and he has someone interested in it, so I don't blame him for not wanting to sell that one. But yeah, just hopefully that thing gets built in May and it's early May, or something happens in April and they get ahead of schedule. I don't know, but we really need that 1 camper, and we kind of need that camper to do all of our stuff at the bank, because everything's all tied together. So we don't have to have it that way, but it just makes paperwork a big more hassle when we start splitting stuff up like that. But anyway, I'll stop rambling. That is kind of an update for now, and we'll see you guys in the next one.